Hello everyone, my name is Sarah. I go by GSarah on Instagram. I uploaded a walkthrough on the inventory system that I use called Inventora it was a little over a year ago. So since then they have created a lot of new features and I just wanted to kind of do like a part 2 walkthrough. So in case you have never used Inventora and you're looking for an inventory system, I'm going to go ahead and tag my first video that I made up here. That way you can kind of be up to speed on where we're going to start at in this video, because I'm just going to kind of pick up where I left off on the account that I used for the first video. In my last video, I did talk about the production tab, but I didn't really go into much detail, so I'm going to go into a lot more detail in this one, and then we're going to also talk about cost of goods and then their new capacity feature. It's been a year since I've been on this account, because I have my business account and then this one that I use for doing like how-tos and walkthroughs and stuff. Luckily, I still have all of the materials and the products and everything. So if you do go back and you watch that part 1 video, I'll have it tagged down below. It should have all the same information. First thing I actually want to walk you guys through is the production line, because I used this a ton last year whenever I was doing my vendor show at Canton. And I was making a lot of product. Oh my gosh, it was such a lifesaver to have this. I need to have more than one product so I can show you what it's like. So let's see, we've got wax, wicks, and a fragrance oil. So I'm gonna add another fragrance oil so that we can make a second candle. Rainfall. Source from supplier, let's say current stock level is 8 ounces. Cost per ounce. I don't normally fill in my new materials like this. If you watch the first video, whenever you get an order, you'll input all the information from your receipt or from your, email that has all the information, and that'll automatically calculate how much your cost per ounce is, including like shipping and all of that. So normally I don't have to fill it out like this, but I'm just gonna $2.15 an ounce. And supplier, Lone Star, category, fragrance. Ooh, you can add a photo now? That's new. What I personally write down in the notes of each of my materials is I'll write what I purchased, from where, and for how much. That way I just remember and I know if I'm getting a better deal whenever I'm trying to, re-up on a certain, like wicks, jars, stuff like that. I can see really easily just by going into the notes to see if I'm getting a better deal. So yeah, save. So now we have 2 fragrance oils. Oh, I forgot to put minimum level. These are all examples, but I still just want it to look as close as to what you're going to see. Ooh, they added WooCommerce to their integrations. That's cool. I didn't know that either. I'm probably going to be noticing a lot of updates as we go through this. They did add WooCommerce. I know that they had Etsy, Shopify, and Wix. I think maybe Square is new too. I can't remember. What's cool about the integrations is that if you can keep up with all of your inventory on Inventora and you integrate all that stuff, you don't ever have to mess with anything other than on Inventora, which that's like my favorite part about Inventora. You don't have to go into Shopify and Etsy and Wix and change your inventory constantly, because it all pulls from Inventora and it all updates. You make a sale on Etsy, it takes it out of your inventory on Shopify. So now we also need to take that new fragrance oil and make a new candle with it called Rainfall. That's really original, I know. Current stock level 14, like what's over here. I'm just copying from what I already have. And 6. I've never used the batch size before, but from my understanding, every time that you make candles, a certain, scent of candle, a specific candle, you make exactly 12, or you make exactly 6. You can put what the batch size is and it'll calculate exactly how much of the materials it's pulling from each batch, which I don't do my candles like that, because sometimes I'll have to make 20 of one scent and then like 2 of another scent. It just depends. So I've never done batches, but I know for people with probably like a lot bigger operations, they probably work with batches, and so that would come in handy. Materials. A 6-ounce candle. So we're gonna do 5.5 ounces of wax and rainfall. 0.5 ounces of fragrance oil, which adds up to 6 ounces. And then we need 1 wick. Obviously, you're going to have a lot more than that whenever you actually create a product. Category candle, and then you can add a photo of your, that's so cool. Let's add this. Did you already make these products? So this question, like, yes, I've already made them and adjusted the materials. Or you want it to take it out of the materials right now, because I don't know if I have enough materials. But you want to make sure that you actually answer these questions accurately. So now let's go over to production. Now production for me has been super helpful, like I said, with whenever I had to make a whole lot of inventory for something that was coming up, and I really needed to keep track of what I had already made, what I had left to make. This was really helpful for that. So what I was doing with it was I would create a new production line, and then I would put Canton, August. And I always selected making inventory to stock, because you can select fulfilling an order, which won't take anything out of your stock. But I was using everything from my materials. So making inventory to stock. So let's say we have to make 10 rainfall candles and 10 sweet watermelon candles. Now when I did this alone took a very long time, because I had to put 12 ounce and a 6 ounce of each of my scents that I was making. I had to make the skull melts of each that I was making. I had to make the snap bars of each scent that I was making. So this alone was really, really long, and it would have been impossible to do this in my head. So I'm so glad that the production thing exists, because trying to do all that, or even on paper, I would have screwed it up. So as you see down here, it's letting me know right now that I don't have enough of the watermelon sugar fragrance oil to make this many candles, which I don't know if you remember back in materials, it was really low, probably in something that I did in the first video. But that'll let you know you're 5 ounces short of that. And you can put the due date, you can enter notes, all that. And then when you get to the actual production page, we're having some technical difficulties. I'm gonna put my laptop on this little fan doohickey thing, because it sounds like it's overheating. I have a 2015 MacBook Pro. So keep that in mind whenever you watch my videos, especially whenever I do like this screen sharing thing, because that's a lot for this poor old man to handle. I'll go ahead and tag this fan. I got it on Amazon. I love this thing. Cool down, buddy. I know. I've got to get a new laptop soon. Yay! Second I plugged it in, it started working. So yeah, having your laptop overheat can make it slow down. So the one that we just made is right here, because it's under planned. And then once you get started on it, it'll move over to in progress. And then when it's done, it'll move over to completed. But let's go ahead and look at planned. So now, we've got 10 of the rainfall candles. Materials needed. Tells you everything that you're going to be using. I like this right here, because it's saying that we're going to be using 5 ounces of fragrance oil, and when we're done, we'll then be in the red. We'll need to order more fragrance oil. So might as well do it now. Watermelon candle. This one's gonna have that. You don't have enough material in stock to make this one, so you need to go ahead and make the order, get the fragrance oil, and then put that into the system, and then that will go away, and it'll be like, okay, now you can make them. And if you're ever going through this and suddenly you realize you wrote something wrong, you need to change the amount of something, you can always go up to edit details, and it'll bring you right back to the original page. And you can add stuff, you can change the amount of stuff. Now, what I've always done is I've always just gone through and clicked when I was done with a certain scent. I'm just not realizing there's a button up here that says start production, and I've never clicked that, and I don't know what that does, so let's find out. Okay, so I just moved it over to in progress. Okay. So yeah, whenever you're done making your rainfall candles, you're going to click right here. This, oh wow, it used to take a lot longer to load that. That was really fast. Yay! It'll show you your progress up here, which normally, you know, I click something and it moves over like teeny tiny bit. But now we're halfway done, and then we can click on that one as soon as we're done. You don't have enough of one material. So this page, it's just letting you know again that you don't have enough of the watermelon sugar. So probably you wouldn't have gone and made the candles if you didn't have enough fragrance oil, right? You would have ordered it. But maybe you forgot to add it into Inventora. You forgot to add that order of the fragrance oil into Inventora. So this would be an opportunity for you to add supply order and add the fragrance oil into the system. Now everything is completed. So now we can hit complete run. And as soon as you do that, it's going to update all of your inventory, and it's going to add everything that you just made into your product section. So we started off with 14 of each, and now we have 24. And then that will update to, if you do the Shopify, Etsy, Wix integration. This entire system is free. And I mentioned that a bunch in the first video, but just in case y'all forgot, using the system and getting to learn the system and all the information that you put into the system is free. If you want to use the integration thing up here, then you have to pay, I believe it's $19.99 a month. But whenever you do, if you do decide to move over to the one that's paid, it'll bring all the information that you've already put into the system over into your paid version. So you can go on to Inventora and do as much as you want. You can mess around with it. You can get to see if you like it. And if you do like it and you want to integrate it with all your websites, you can do that. Next, we should do probably cost of goods, which this is going to be really simple because there's not a whole lot of stuff. But whenever you have your actual candles or your homemade goods, it's always good to see exactly what your cost of goods is. Your cost of goods is going to be that right there. And cost of goods means exactly how much it costs for you to make that item with the materials that you have that you buy at, you know, wholesale price. If you go underneath materials used, it'll show you each material, how much you used, and the cost of that exact amount of the material. It'll have it all broken down, and then whenever that's all added up together, that's what the unit cost is, which is your cost of goods. Lastly, I want to talk about the capacity feature, which I believe is in products. I've never used this one, but the more that I'm learning about it, the more that I kind of realize I feel like that would be a really good idea. It's hard with candles because you have to have that 2-week period or however long you decide, you know, to cure your candles. But I guess it just depends on how long you cure your candles. It depends on what you're selling, because if you're not selling something that has to sit and wait and cure, then this would be like really, really amazing to have as an option. But you'll go into the product and I think you go to edit details and scroll all the way down. You know what? I'm not sure how I'm going to show y'all this because this isn't synced to any of my stores. Okay, you know what? I'm going to just sign into my actual Inventora. I'm just going to have to zoom in. So I'm going to have to kind of crop the screen just to show you guys this bottom corner. But what I did is I went to the products panel, selected the product, and then hit edit details and scrolled all the way to the bottom. And now if you have an account that is synced with stores, then these options will be down here. You can select whether you want the sync method between how it shows up on Etsy and Shopify and all that. You can choose to show just the stock that you already have made, or you can have the stock plus the capacity of what you can make with the materials that you have on hand, which for businesses that are like other handmade businesses, that maybe it's a lot quicker of a process, like maybe in a day you can get something done, that would be really helpful. I'm sorry, there's a fly flying around the room. But that's a really cool feature. Most of those features, you can go on and you can mess with them and do all of that for free. And I'll have a link down in the description below. If you do click on the link, it's an affiliate link. So it would be helping me out a whole lot if you did, but you don't have to do that. You can also just go to Inventora.com and sign up for free and use all of this for free. And then if you decide to switch over to the paid version, it'll just bring everything that you've done. All the work that you've done will be pulled over to the new one. And I love that they're constantly updating it. They're constantly making it better, and you can always reach out to them if there's an issue. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'm sure I'll be making another one here in a few months as soon as they have more features, because they are constantly updating and making everything better on this website. So thank you guys for watching. If you would like to subscribe, that button is down below, and as always, be excellent to each other, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.